All right, we got a late night Celtics West Coast finish, so that means no studio, no nice microphone, no nice camera, just this beige background from my couch because I don't want to wake the wife up who's been asleep for about 2 hours now. But like I've said before, I love these late games. It's when I'm up anyways, so perfect for me. Gives me something to do. And this was a fun one with the Celtics going into Golden State, a place they've been surprisingly successful in the past, better part of the past decade. And they pick up another win in Golden State against the Warriors, 110-88. It was a really interesting game. The first half was a complete defensive rock fight with both teams really struggling to score any points at all. The Warriors had just 32 points at the half. The Celtics, 48, I believe, is what they finished with at the half. And just a complete defensive drag it out, knock it down fight in the first half from both these teams. And they are not coincidentally ranked 1 and 2 in defensive efficiency in the NBA. So that shouldn't have been too much of a surprise. Um, and then in the second half, you saw the teams playing a lot more free flowing. The defense still pretty good, but definitely took a step back. The Celtics gave up, in fact, 37 points in the third quarter. The Warriors gave up 31. So a far cry from what it was in the first half of the game. It seemed like a playoff game with both teams sort of figuring each other out. And yeah, I see you in there, Leonard. You're talking about Steph Curry's injury too. That's definitely notable, and it takes a little bit of luster out of the win, but not all that much. They did when Curry was in. The Celtics, I think, did a really nice job on him too. Specifically, Marcus Smart. He shot 1 of 4. He hit his first shot of the game, and that was it. He left with an injury when Marcus Smart dove for a loose ball and kind of collided a little bit with his knee, foot area. Definitely not a dirty play, in my opinion. I know Steve Kerr was upset about it, but that was a loose 50-50 ball. Marcus Smart hit the ground first and got the ball first before hitting Steph Curry's knee. That's just a basketball play and a play that Marcus Smart is known to make all the time. So I'm going to turn my TV off so I don't get crazy pink screens next to me. But it was a play that obviously Steve Kerr is protecting his star player and doesn't want to see him get hurt on a loose ball play. But Smart did nothing wrong there. In fact, he made the correct basketball play. So I'm sure once Steve Kerr sees it, he'll probably tone down the rhetoric there and then probably realize he was in the wrong, or maybe he won't. I don't know. I'm not inside Steve Kerr's brain. But I think the Tatum had a strong game tonight. Brown didn't shoot very well, but he had a strong game from a scoring standpoint. But the guys who really stood out tonight were Marcus Smart and Rob Williams. They just brought so much effort and intensity on the defensive end. Smart had a terrific game offensively as well. He scored 20 points. We'll get into the box score in a second. But Rob, it wasn't just the stats that Rob compiled in this game. It was his presence defensively, his presence in the paint made a massive difference in terms of how the Warriors were approaching their offensive game plan. Sort of the specter of Rob Williams being able to deflect shots, block shots, alter passes. That really had a massive effect on this game. And because of his length and athleticism, he has the ability to recover so quickly and be multiple places seemingly at once. And his impact was massive, especially in the first half of this game. And holding the Warriors to just 32 points in the first half was in large part because of Rob Williams and Marcus Smart's defense as well. So really a credit to the Celtics defense tonight, even though Steph Curry only played 14 minutes, holding a Warriors team to just 88 points is an excellent effort. And again, winning in Golden State, never easy. And that is how you want to kick off a West Coast road trip. So let's get into the box score here because I do know it's late here on the East Coast. Starters tonight were the usual crew: Tatum, Horford, Rob Williams, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum, 37 minutes, shot 6 of 16 from the floor, 3 of 8 from 3. Where he really made his money was at the free throw line, where he was 11 of 12. He had 12 boards. He's been rebounding the ball terrific lately. 4 assists, a steal, and 4 turnovers and 26 points. So really good game from Tatum. Not the scoring explosion we've been seeing from him recently, but a very, very good game against a team that is a really excellent defensive team and threw some really, really excellent defenders at Tatum. I mean, at different points in time, Klay Thompson was defending Tatum, Otto Porter Jr., Draymond Green, obviously, Kuminga, Moody, all those guys, very, very good defensive players. Tatum saw all of them and a lot of double teams and still managed to have an excellent game tonight. Al Horford didn't do all that much in his 32 minutes, 2 of 5 from the floor, 1 of 3 from 3, 5 rebounds, an assist, 2 turnovers, and 6 points. So nothing really notable there. Rob Williams, I talked about the impact he made defensively that you're not going to see in the box score here. He still had a solid night on the box score, though. 24 minutes, 4 of 5 from the floor. Played a lot more minutes in the first half and the second half. For whatever reason, Ime Udoka decided to do that. They won the game, so no complaints. 9 rebounds, an assist, 4 blocks, and 8 points. Marcus Smart was the player of the game for me tonight. In his 34 minutes, he was a very efficient 8 of 12 from the floor, including 4 of 7 from 3, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, a steal, and no turnovers to go with 20 points. Love to see that from your point guard. And Smart just continues to string of terrific performances since he's come back from injury. Jaylen Brown, not a great shooting night, but did contribute offensively significantly. 35 minutes, 9 of 21 from the floor, 2 of 8 from 3, 6 of 7 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, and 26 points, which tied a team high with Jason Tatum. Off the bench, main guys who played were Grant Williams, played 21 minutes. He had 5 points, hitting both his shots. Daniel Tice, 11 minutes, 3 points for him. He was fine. Derek White really, really struggled tonight. His worst game as a Celtic by far. In his 22 minutes, he was 0 of 8 from the floor, including 0 of 5 from 3. Did have 5 rebounds and 4 assists and a steal, so finding some ways to contribute, but he looks so tentative shooting the ball, and it's like with every miss, the next one gets worse, and he looks more and more scared, and it looks like the ball is getting heavier in his hands. And I was having this discussion with a buddy of mine, Marv, on Twitter, that if White can't hit the broadside of the barn shooting, and he's getting open looks too, they're not going to be able to play him late in close games because teams will just leave him. And if he can't hit shots, it's a killer. And tonight it was definitely his worst game as a Celtic, and just a really horrible shooting night. So hopefully they work with him on that and he gets a little bit more confidence. But he looked very, very skittish tonight. Not a good game from Derek White. Peyton Pritchard, a really strong performance, especially in the fourth quarter for him. 18 minutes, 4 of 9 from the floor, 2 of 6 from 3. Both of those threes came in the fourth quarter, both really big shots. 1 rebound, 3 assists, and 10 points. Pritchard has been very up and down this season. A lot of that has to do with early in the season, he could not find any rotation minutes with Schroeder blocking him, and seemed like Udoka didn't have any confidence in him. Now with Schroeder gone, even though White came in the fold, Pritchard's played a lot more. He's been so-so, but tonight he did exactly what they needed him to do, which was hit open threes once Jason Tatum gets double teamed or Jaylen Brown gets double teamed and they kick out. He needs to hit those shots. Tonight he did. The Warriors were going on a run, and Pritchard's 2 threes really slammed the door on that. So a big game for him. Hopefully that gives him confidence. That's how Pritchard stays in the rotation. That's how he stays in the NBA, frankly, is by being a guy who can knock down threes when open. And he plays really hard defensively, so you like to see that out of him. But he's going to make his NBA career out of being able to be a reliable 3-point shooter. And tonight he was, and tonight he really aided the Celtics getting their win. And then you saw some garbage time from Sam Hauser, Nick Stauskas, and Malik Fitz. Stauskas and Hauser both hit threes. So those are guys that can shoot off the bench, which is always good to have. I'd like to see a little bit more if Stauskas can be a guy you could plug into the rotation a little bit as a 3-point shooter off the bench. Celtics haven't seen much of him at all, but he did hit a crazy 3 at the end of the game. And again, the Celtics win 110-88. The final score, not truly indicative of the game. It was a little closer than that at times, but at other times the Celtics were blowing out the Warriors. So hard to really say. It was a weird game. It was a fun game, and definitely a statement game for the Celtics to beat the Warriors, who are one of the absolute favorites to win the title this year. And they beat them on their home court. Regardless, like Leonard said, I hate that Steph got hurt, but still impressive win. Definitely impressive win. I think that the Celtics absolutely feel good about that, and you want to build on that on this road trip where you have 3 more games left on the West Coast. Sacramento on Friday, Denver on Sunday, Oklahoma City on Monday. Sacramento and Oklahoma City, we talked about this, I think, last week. Those two are gimme games. You have no business losing those. Denver is going to be a tough team, as they always are, and Jokic is always going to have big games. But winnable. All these games are winnable for the Celtics. And because the East is so tight, as the Celtics move into fourth place in the East, you can't afford to drop any games. So every game matters for the Celtics down the stretch here. And fortunately for them, they're playing really, really good basketball. Now, let's see what else you say, Leonard. Time Lord becoming a legit third to the big three. I think certainly defensively he is. I'd like to see him start to make more of an impact offensively, maybe take a little bit more shots, maybe expand his range a little bit. But he's certainly he's really played well defensively, and his per minute numbers are great, and his efficiency is great. I would just like to see him become more of an option and have more of a varied game offensively, because I don't think he's quite at an all-star level yet, and that's what you to really have a big three. All three need to be legitimate all-star guys. This team still needs depth in shooting, which I don't think they'll find. Yeah, there's a lot of teams that lack depth. I will say that. Sixers come to mind immediately. So the Celtics aren't the only team in that boat. Shooting has been an issue for them this season and continues to be an issue. Again, they haven't really given Hauser or Stauskas much of a chance. Those are supposed to be really your best shooters off the bench. Neesmith as well, but he's been inconsistent, and he's hurt right now. And it's funny, like you said, Leonard, here, a couple months ago, no game was a winnable one for the Celtics. What a turnaround. It's been a wild season. 75th season for the NBA, 75th season for the Celtics, and it's been unlike any season I can remember, just in terms of contrast from a couple of months ago to now. Just wild. I had this team dead and buried, and I'm not embarrassed to say I was wrong, but I don't know how anybody could have believed in them based off of what they were putting out there on the court. They just, something clicked, and suddenly they've been playing really good basketball. But all that matters is what they do in the playoffs. They stink in the first round and lose, then who cares that they played well the second half of the season? Doesn't really matter. So it's about how they perform in the postseason, and we'll see how that goes. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I know it's late. I appreciate you, whether you're watching now or later. Thank you to Leonard, always watching every Celtics game along with me. Appreciate it, bud. And remember to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. See you, everybody.